Over the years, we've travelled far and wide, right across Western Australia, seeking out the greatest produce, some of the most interesting people, and discovering the passion behind the food that makes our state so special. So let's take a look back at one of those incredible stories that makes WA so unique.
Last year, when a little-known winery in the Bickley Valley took out the big gong, scooped the pool at the Perth Hills wine show, people sat up and took notice. But this year, when they did it again, the team and I at Our State and a Plate thought to ourselves, we'd better get out there and find out what's going on. It's only once you get out here to Plume Estate that you realise the story is more interesting than just great viticulture. Beneath the bling of trophies and medals is a story about a family expressing their Northern European roots, escaping the 9-to-5 rat race and carving out a little piece of Dutch-German hospitality right on Perth's doorstep. Owner and passionate vigneron Marcus Geisler emigrated with his wife Anita from the Dutch-German border almost 26 years ago. They've opened Plume Estate in the Bickley Valley with one goal in mind: to share their passion for wine and food. It's easy to see why anyone would want to move to this part of the world, but what is it about the Bickley Valley that made you want to put down roots?
Well, I started making wine in 2006 with a mate just up the road, and we used to buy grapes actually from this vineyard. And then this opportunity came up, and we thought we have to do it. I mean, look at it. It has the geography, it has the geology, it has the climate, and beautiful people. You know, it's such a magnificent spot.
So hang on.
Hills.
So you've gone from making wine with a mate over the last 20 years to taking out the big trophy at the show a couple of years in a row. Are you a magical vigneron? What's your secret?
Oh, that's typically what happens with me. You know, you start something and somehow you get the passion and the interest. If you like what you're doing, you never have to work a day in your life. So that's why I moved from, 1,000 bottles a vintage. Now we're doing 15,000 bottles.
And I get the feeling there's a bit of hospitality in your blood. Is that right?
That's correct. Actually, my grandparents had a hotel in the Netherlands. And yeah, so that's right. I mean, there's no link to winemaking or vineyards as such, but I've made the usual transition. What blokes do, it's you start drinking beer, and then one day the light bulb comes on, and you move to wine. And so that's where the interest started.
Speaking of the light bulb going off, is there a development or a variety that you're particularly enjoying in this particular part of the land?
It's amazing. We are able to grow a Pinot Noir, and the Pinot Noir is a cool climate grape. And actually 1/3 of the vineyard is Pinot Noir, and we make 3 wines of it: sparkling white, sparkling rosé, and a red table wine. So that's a fantastic wine, and it comes out with a beautiful flavor. The other one is we're introducing new varietals. We actually use some of the old stock, and we cut it off and we grafted new ones in. And we brought in a Verdejo, which is a Spanish grape from Rueda, north of Madrid. And we brought in a Durif. And Durif is known as Petit Syrah in Napa Valley, and it's really cottoning on now in Australia. So it's fantastic. So we're looking at new trends, but also we want to keep aligned with the climate, because we want crisp, mineral, clean, easy drinkable wines.
So this is Plume's 2023 Perth Hills Trophy winning Shiraz. In addition to the Shiraz, they've also added about 3% Viognier, which is a white grape variety, which brings lift and femininity to the wine, again, harkening back to their European traditions. I suppose we better have a look as well, hey? Well, it looks pretty good. Okay, now I understand what the judges are on about. That is fantastic. And it's not just in the glass that we see their heritage. Some pretty traditional things are happening in the kitchen too. Flammkuchen is a traditional dish from the Alsace region in France and Germany. What started out as a simple way to tell the temperature in a very hot wood oven quickly became a regional delicacy that just happens to go perfectly with the perfumed wines of the Bickley Valley. Okay, chef, do we call it Flammkuchen? Flammkuchen.
Flammkuchen.
Flammkuchen?
Flammkuchen.
What on earth does that mean?
It means flame cake.
Right.
And the French call it tarte de flambe, and the Germans will call it Flammkuchen.
So where did you come across this wonderful, delectable delicacy?
Actually from the Alsace region where I grew up in Germany.
Right.
So I used to grow up with it. Every Sunday we would have it. And of course the kids have it, speck and red onion, and the adults always had the beautiful alcohol that goes with it because it's just so thin and crust, and the flavors just shine through because the base doesn't have much of a flavor, but the toppings do.
Wow.
And it just pairs perfectly with alcohol.
I've noticed some pretty delicious ingredients on the top here. Where do you get all that fun stuff from?
So most of it is from my garden, actually.
All right.
Yes, and the speck is actually from a local German butcher. And he actually smokes it to the way I like it.
Now, this wasn't always your first vocation of choice, was it? Have you escaped
I've escaped accounting, tax accounting, in St George's Terrace.
St George's Terrace to Bickley Valley?
Bickley Valley.
Was the change worth it?
100%.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, this is my idea of heaven. You can sit on the balcony here at Cellar Door and take a deep dive into this little piece of Europe every weekend. If you look up the term family owned and operated in the dictionary, you'll probably come across a photo of this place or the story of this family. There's nothing contrived or corporate hospitality about anything that they do here. The ingredients that they use are family and history, but maybe the most important ingredient they use is that of love.